What's up, my guys, and welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. I'm your host, Cody. What I do on this show is I take a wrestling show, I break down each match, I'll give it its own letter grade, and then at the end, I'll tally them some bitches up and give that show its own report card. So today, we're talking about the November 2nd episode of AEW Dynamite. First things first, we find out this Friday on Rampage, none other than I Am Mike Tyson will be joining the commentary table. But tonight, there's some celebrities in house as well, as you got Lamar Jackson and Ricky Rose. Both in the house. We also have 4 title matches. We got 3 big returns. And then you got Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley in action. Plus a banger of a triple threat match. So, hey, as you can tell, we got a lot to talk about. So, without further ado, go ahead and buckle up your seatbelts. And let's get to grading. First up tonight, we got Darby Allin taking on Jade Lethal. And these boys didn't wait as Darby met Lethal down on the entrance ramp and the two just started throwing down before they could even ring the bell. One thing to note is that coming into this match, Darby had his ribs taped up after an attack from Lethal and his crew, which was basically a giant target for my guy Jay Lethal. So Lethal went for the lethal injection once, but Darby countered. And then at one point, Darby tried to hit a tope suicida onto the 7'4" Satin Machine, but he just bounced off of him. I tell you what. And then, for some reason, the ref just booted Satin Machine out of the arena. Like, I know he's a heel, but it ain't his fault that Darby tried to jump on him and then just bounced off like a bug. Anyways, while all this was happening, somebody dressed up like Sting snuck up behind Darby and then laid him out, which allowed Jay to hit the lethal injection and get the 1, 2, 3. And then, after the match, we find out that Sting was none other than Cole Carter. You don't know who he is? I don't either. Big surprise there. But at this moment, Stinger's theme hit, and behind Darby, we see a silhouette. But this figure wasn't holding a baseball bat. Oh no, he had a guitar, and it turned out to be none other than JEFF, JARRETT. What a god. By God, it's Jeff Jarrett. I'm gonna slap an A- on the opening act. Not only was that match great, but now we got Jeff Jarrett in AEW. Now we just waiting on Dixie Carter. Ha, I got you right there. I will say though, had that Cole Carter guy been a huge debut, this would have gotten a lot lower grade, my guy, because you could have heard a pin drop in that stadium when he took off that Stinger mask. Anyways, up next, we got Jon Moxley taking on Lee Moriarty, who is a part of the firm, and Moriarty didn't come alone as he was accompanied by Stokes, and that son of a bitch came out in a great value version of MJF's scarf. About halfway through the match, nobody's eyes were even on it, and then the entire crowd just started chanting MVP, MVP, and no, they weren't talking about Moxley, because none other than Lamar Jackson made his way into the building. Now, even though I am a Steelers fan, I gotta admit that Lamar is a dog. Anyways, back to the match, and after a physical back and forth, Mox was able to hit the armbar, and Lee had no choice but to tap out. After the match, though, Ethan Page came down from the announcer's table and laid Moxley out in the middle of the ring before walking off with Stokes and the rest of the firm. I'm going to slap a B- on that, and I got to say, I am not opposed to Ethan Page winning that tournament at Full Gear to be the #1 contender, especially if MJF wins the title, because that match with that storyline with the firm, oh, it's going to be beautiful. But hey, take off your hats and throw on your party hats, because next up, we got the daddy-ass birthday bash. That's right, I'm talking about for Billy Gunn. Now, after Swerve took a pair of pliers to Mr. Gunn's hands last Friday on Rampage, it seemed as though he was going to be unable to scissor on his own birthday, but then the Acclaim unveiled that they have giant pink foam fingers that are perfect for scissoring. They then unveiled his other 2 gifts, which were a World's Greatest Daddy trophy, and the last gift was none other than adoption papers, so that Billy Gunn can be the Acclaim's daddy for real. But at this time, his 2 biological sons, the Ass Boys, came out upset that they weren't invited to their own dad's birthday party. However, they let him know that they still got him a gift, and Billy Gunn turned around right into a size 17 boot, courtesy of Maury. Great gift, you little bastards. No wonder he disowned you. However, before him and the Ass Boys could beat down the Acclaim too bad, out came FTR to make the save. But you could tell that their main focus was on them AEW tag team titles that are currently around the Acclaim's waist. But they gotta waste their turn because they just lost to Swerve in the Glory. Their glory, our glory, whatever. You know what I meant. Anyways, I'm going to give that a B. What can I say? I was entertained, my guy. They even brought up the fact that some of his friends, DX, cough cough, didn't show up tonight for Billy Gunn's birthday because they were mad that he didn't go to the DX anniversary a few weeks back on Monday Night Raw. Thanks, Tony Khan. Anyways, up next, we got the Chris Jericho Open Challenge for that Ring of Honor title. He says, I don't care if it's a former Ring of Honor champ, former tag champ, women's champ, hell, I'll even whoop Lamar Jackson's ass. And much to CM Punk's liking, none other than Colt Boom Boom Cabana answer the challenge, making his huge return to AEW.
Yeah, I know Ace still is chomping at the bits at this one anyways. And yes, as everyone saw right before the commercial break, Cabana dropped Jericho from the ropes as he was going for the Chicago skyline. And all I have to say about that is if I was off my job for almost a year, I'd be messing up left and right. So I won't be a judgmental prick like some people. Anyways, we come back from the break to Cabana on a roll. He even hit the Superman roll-up, but Jake Hager interfered, so Cabana decided to wipe him and that purple bucket head out with a moonsault. However, when he got back in the ring, he went to hit the ropes, but he ran right into a code breaker, which gave Y2J the 1-2-3 and retained that title. After the match, Jericho and his crew grabbed the Ring of Honor ring announcer, and that sumbitch broke his glasses. But right before Jericho was gonna lay old boy out with his title, out ran the Blackpool Combat Club to make the save.
I'm gonna go with a C+ on that. Again, ring rust is real, y'all. However, for being off that long, I thought Colt Cabana still looked pretty damn good in that match. But hey, up next, we got the triple threat match I was telling you about, as you got Orange Cassidy taking on Rey Fénix, taking on LuchaSaurus. Now, not only is Cassidy's All-Atlantic Championship on the line, but whoever wins this match will be able to pick their dream opponent this Friday for a match on Rampage. Now, this sumbitch was about as crazy as one could imagine. I tell you what, if I try to tell y'all everything that happened in this, we'd be here all day, my guy. Just as LuchaSaurus was wrecking shop, out of nowhere came Jungle Boy Jack with a steel chair in hand. He gave Lucha a couple of shots with it before launching himself at his former teammate, sending both men flying off the stage, crashing through a table. Next thing you know, Pac came running down, and he tried to hand Rey Fénix that hammer to help him get the win, but Fénix refused. Now, like his tactics or not, but Pac was right as we went on, and Orange Cassidy landed the orange punch to get the 1-2-3 and retain that title. After the match, Pat went on to attack Cassidy, and just like at Forbidden Door, none other than Shibata, that's right, Shibata ran out to make the save for Cassidy, and he got a huge pop. But that wasn't all. He grabbed that All-Atlantic contract, he signed that sumbitch, so this Friday in the Dream Match with Iron Mike Tyson on commentary, it will be Cassidy versus Shibata for the All-Atlantic Championship. Man, that's gonna be a banger. For this match though, I'm gonna give it an A. I mean all of it. The match, the 2 table spots, the Shibata return. Woo, I tell you what, brother. But then we go backstage where we have none other than the boss, Ricky Rose, who's backstage promoting my guy Swerve. Keith Lee then joined his partner in the festivities, but he was a little bit negative with it all, bringing up that Swerve keeps having to cheat. But Swerve then announced that next week in an 8-man tag match, they will team up with the Ass Boys to take on FTR and the Acclaim. But next up, we got another title match, as you got Cargill taking on Marina Shafir. And after trolling Marks and turning down Little Bow Wow on Twitter this past week, the champ is here. Now, right as the bell rang, out came Vicky Guerrero and the person who stole her title, Nyla Rose. They took over on commentary during this match, trying to distract Jade, which almost did lead to her getting counted out. However, when she got back in the ring, it went like this. Pump kick, Jaded, 1, 2, 3, and still Carghill. Now, for this letter grade, I'm going to give it a D+. I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, you can blame a lot of that on Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero coming out running out to ruin commentary. But hey, I do gotta say, being 41-0, that's a big deal, my guy. But hey, that's enough talk, because it's time for the main event. After a trivia video package from the House of Black, it's Samoa Joe defending his Ring of Honor TV title against Brian Cage. So yeah, we're about to see some big sweaty men slapping man meat, brother. For those of y'all who don't know about Brian Cage, I tell you what, he's a big old sumbitch who can move like a smaller sumbitch. And for those of y'all who don't know about Samoa Joe, I don't know what to tell you, my guy. So we get back from the break to the near 300-pound Cage, flipping over the top rope, wiping out Joe back on the floor. He then went on to hit an inverted pump handle slam, which looked like it landed Samoa Joe right on his face. He followed that up with a discus lariat, but Joe was able to kick out both times. Cage then tried to muscle him up yet again, but this time, Joe was ready for him. As he countered, he hit him with the clutch, leaving Cage no other option but to tap out to the champ. After the match, Cage's crew, the Embassy, or the Kingdom as Taz said, went down to beat Joe, but before it got too bad, out came Wardlow, who ran him off. However, he didn't see a lurking Powerhouse Hobbs, who snuck up behind him, hit him with a massive spine buster, sending a huge message to the TNT champion. For that main event, I'm going to give it a B-. Number one, I love this for Powerhouse Hobbs because that made him look huge. And number two, I'm just going to say it. We need a Ring of Honor show. There are just way too many titles on AEW. Here's my idea. Let's take AEW Rampage. Let's do an invasion angle with Ring of Honor where they take over. And that's now your second show as Ring of Honor instead of adding a third cable show. Because to be honest, Rampage isn't doing great. But we're still new, baby. Woo! I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to get off my high horse, though. Because as y'all know, we came to the end of another show. We got all the grades in. Now let's take a look at the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a B- in 83%. Yep, just like Monday Night Raw. So you got to say both companies are neck and neck right now. Well, hey, I appreciate everybody that still does tune in. If you have it in your hearts, please hit me with a subscribe. You can even like, you can comment about how dumb I am or how stupid this mullet looks. But hey, other than that, I'm signing off. So hope all y'all stay safe and have a nice day.